My base, bro. My base. My base. Go away.
Come here, open the door.
No, 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 no.
Open the door.
No, 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 no.
What's up, guys? It's Razzle back with part 3 of my rating guide for Conan Exiles in 2025. We are now on the defense portion part of the guide, which is my personal favorite. Nothing quite gives you that adrenaline rush of the idea of losing all your hard-earned pixels. We are nearing a successful end to our season for MCGA, and it has been a fun one. But I am excited to get into the next season because nothing beats that early game grind. I love the feeling of having nothing to my name other than some stone daggers fighting over a star metal node. It is truly peak Conan gameplay. In this video, we will be going over a few things, starting with Notorious defending our Aqueduct build. The build we use is a mix of the ideas of some of the best builders in the game, including Scott, Solix, and Wyverton. Aqueduct is one of the strongest bases in the game to have. Its repair potential is like nothing else. You can choose to raid Aqueduct from what's called the front or the back, but then you're having to break through 2 repair floors. The first being what is normally the craft floor, and then the main repair floor. More often than not, you'll see people raid Aqueduct from the windows because you are then able to bypass the first repair floor. But now you are dealing with the window repair spot, which is where you will see ROLF spending most of their time. MCGA did not allow sideways gates for this wipe, so we had to improvise a bit, but we made it work with 2 front-facing gates and small doors in the middle, which ended up working out great for us. ROLF is one of the best remaining clans in Conan and did a great job on their attempt to raid us, but Notorious ended up coming out on top. The next video in this series will be an in-depth bomber guide along with tips for trebbing, arrowing, and gods. If you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. Any questions, comments, or concerns you have, please feel free to leave down below. I am also in lots of public Conan discords. Feel free to shoot me a DM if you had questions. Let's get into it. Before we get into the gameplay footage, let's take a minute to go over a proper repair build. We'll start with our spec. We're going to go 20 vitality into fast healer, and then last stand is going to be very important here. When your health drops below 50%, you remove all negative effects and gain 95% damage mitigation for a short time. What this does is stops you from getting one-shot by bombs. And then we're going to need expertise. Your first node isn't going to matter here, but we need beast of burden to make sure we're not over encumbered while we do this. And then we're going to take 20 agility. Take dead shot because we're going to be shooting off some arrows here and there, and then extended leap. As far as our gear goes, armor is going to reduce the amount of damage you take from bombs, so it's important we run heavy here. We're going to wear a Godbreaker helmet. This acts as if it is a gas mask for you, kind of like a sandstorm mask, but sandstorms are light and Godbreakers are heavy, so we're going to take this. And then I'm wearing the Stygian Commander set. It's kind of pay to win, but it's well worth it. It gives you 28 health and 12 stam per piece. If you don't have access to this, you could wear the Yamatai set, which gives you 28 health per piece, and it is also heavy. When I'm in repair mode, my hotbar is going to be set up with bombs on it, kind of like this. That way, I have quick access to them. If I was on an official server where rebuild was a thing, I would absolutely keep a construction hammer on my hotbar. Most servers that I'm on currently is a no rebuild server, so it's not necessary for me to have a construction hammer on the hotbar at all times, but if I was playing on official or a server that did allow you to rebuild, definitely keep a construction hammer on you. Rebuilding is by far the most efficient and easiest way to defend your base, by far. For our inventory, we're going to keep a stack of explosive arrows on us, a couple stacks of heals, some extra bombs. If we were to get a little aggressive and maybe take a step outside of our repair doors, I would switch over my hotbar to keep 1 bomb on it, throw my set pots and feast and tease on the bar. We're using a star metal repair hammer. You're going to want to craft this with the Tempersmith. It's the blacksmith that has a little hammer icon. The difference between crafting one with a Tempersmith versus a bladesmith is the temper will give you 720 durability, as you can see down here, and then the bladesmith gives you 652 durability. So you get a little bit more using this, which can help in the long run. And then you want to throw a master reinforcement kit on it, which will about double the durability, brings it up to 1440. Repair mats, I keep it at a 2-to-1 ratio, so I have 6 stacks of hardened brick, 3 stacks of steelery and shape wood on me. You can really do this in any denomination that you want. I just think this is a good rounded off way to do it. So starting off, we noticed that ROLF had a treb spot set up on one of the pillars up on the wall here behind Aqueduct. If you didn't know, trebs eat through bases like nothing else, so it's really important that you get them down as fast as possible. This treb probably got off I don't know, like 2 or 3 minutes worth of treb shots before we were able to get over to it. And this thing was destroying our windows. So with quick thinking, I grabbed some bat stuff and then jumped up here. My first priority was to bomb this treb so that way they couldn't rebuild it. I got it down as fast as possible. If you're gonna do something like this, like bat up to a treb to try to destroy it and then secure the kill on whoever's trebbing, bring yourself some cleansing brews. I was in a rush, you know, things got a little hectic for a second with how fast they were tearing through the base of this treb. So I just grabbed the bat stuff and got out as fast as possible. Completely forgot to grab the cleansing brews. So you could always do that and it will help you out a bit. While I'm doing this, we have a treb set up on the bridge of Aqueduct, which we use for our defensive purposes. And it's in the middle of eating up their fob as we speak. You're going to notice in this video, ROLF has a shitload of thralls at our base. And that's mainly because in ROLF fashion, the last weekend what they'll normally do is they pretty much despawn their main base and bring everything to a giant 10,000 piece fob. And they'll set it outside whoever's base they want to raid that weekend and attempt to really get into them. So these guys had like 30 or 40 thralls, like 30,000 health Black Corsairs, and these giant spiders you're going to see with like 100k health. Just annoying as all hell, sitting at our base at all times. Now, something worth mentioning, if you haven't watched my agility PvP guide, this is going to be a great example of why I love the build that I play. So I'm playing the grit build, which is going to include steel food, which means that people cannot kill you without hitting you at least 4 times. And with me being corrupted, of course, I only have half health. I have 360 health. And the guy I'm trying to kill here has a thag on him. So normally that would one-shot you. You know, 360 health with a thag, you know, you're dead. So luckily, my steel food saves me a bunch here, and I'm able to secure the kill on him. This next clip here, I'm trying to just keep them off from getting up top and bombing, so I'm trying to arrow them down to get them knocked off the ledge here. I had a very unfortunate death. When I did die, I communicated that to my team, of course, and it just so happened that there were just dead bodies everywhere mixed between ours and ROLF's, and one of my guys actually ended up picking up all those kits, and he said, all right, pull your body. I pulled my body, and we were able to secure back 6 or 7 kits right here, so that was pretty awesome. Now, once they got to our windows, I happened to be inside the base, so quick thinking, I go ahead and throw a repair set on, and I get to repairing. Unfortunately, majority of my footage from this raid is pretty much me doing this, smacking these walls and making sure they don't get in any further. So a lot of my POV is going to be just like this, so I did have my guys take a few clips of what they were doing on the outside. You know, we're all working as a team here. But they took a few clips of what they're doing, and I will show those clips here. A few tips I can give while you are on the repair side of things. You have a repair hammer out almost at all times. I like doing it in first person. You don't have to, but to me, it's just, I don't know. I play this game like in first person 80% of the time. If I'm in the base or I'm crafting stuff, going through whatever, I'm in first person. It's just easier for me. Another example of me using my explosive arrows to detonate the bombs quick. I had communications that the bomber was sitting on top of the ledge, placing bombs down, so I wasn't worried about anyone coming in at that point. So I quickly opened the door, shot the arrow off, and then closed the doors right after that. Make sure you're hitting all the blocks, and it's really important that you're getting the foundations below the stuff that you're repairing, because if those things break, whatever is on top will normally break as well. So I'm making sure I hit everything here. We heard from our guys outside that they wiped their team, so I go ahead and head out there and start repairing everything I can, you know, up above from where I was normally repairing. So I hit a few pieces out here. Yeah, as you can see right here, they have all these thralls outside, these Black Corsairs with 30,000 health ready to hit us. I ended up running back inside because ROLF did a really good job of getting back in the fight quick. As I was running, I got followed by somebody, so in typical chakram spammer fashion, he was stuck in a 1x1, so 9 times out of 10, the chakram spammer is going to win that unless they are really good with the great axe and are able to roll you. So I ended up getting the kill there. That was great. Now what I'm showing here is defensive bombing. The reason why I keep bombs on me while I'm repairing is because you're able to use those to basically explode whoever's attacking you's bombs on the outside of the door. So you see me place the bomb, and then I probably detonate another 3 or 4 bombs on the other side of the door that their bomber is setting up. And the reason why you want to do this is because if they get too many bombs set up, then they're going to one-shot whatever it is in front of you. So on average, bombs will do between 7,000 and 8,000 damage per bomb. So if they're able to get, 10 bombs stacked up, they would have destroyed that pyramid door that you see me keep running out and repairing. And it wouldn't be a huge deal if they did it. But if they were able to get it down, it just makes it that much easier for them. So coming up here, I'm going to show you a few different clips from my team doing their jobs. I'm stuck inside repairing, so here's what they were going at. First, we have Sav. If you haven't watched any of Sav's videos, I have it linked on the screen here. He's a great agility bow player normally. He also is our main bomber. So in typical Sav fashion, he's sitting here just trying to be annoying, throwing bombs down on the people just to try to get some easy kills, and he's also doing a really great job at it. He did get a few kills. He recorded what he could, but didn't get all his footage here. But you'll see him just raining bombs down on them while they're trying to PvP, and the bombs are going to do more damage to the enemy team than they would from your team if you're the ones placing them. So he's just sitting here launching down bombs, and there's nothing they can do about it, really. A good tip, if you're ever trying to do something like this, you'll see Sav sometimes place the bomb, light it, and then place it back down, below him. The distance on bombs when you're placing them vertically is pretty far. If you're placing them on like a, how do I say this, like an x-axis, I don't know the exact range, but it's really not too far where you can place them. However, when you're placing them, on the y-axis, you're able to place them pretty damn far. And you can see that here. We have Artie. Artie is a great strength player that we have. He's really skilled with the great axe, and you're going to see some of his gameplay footage here. So now that you've seen a few different POVs of our raid defense system that we use, I was on repair. Artie was out fragging, just clapping people with his great axe. Sav was defensive bombing, and now we have Heal, who is really the MVP here. It starts off with him on top of their fob. You can see how high it was by those pyramid pillars up there. Our Treb was absolutely eating their fob, and there wasn't much they can do to get to it because we built it really strong. By the time they got to it, it already did a lot of damage, and they had their main vault exposed. This vault had a lot of their kits in it, and then there were also a bunch of chests inside, but you'll be able to see just how much they had in it when he pops this. I think there was like 120 items or something like that. So at this point, Heal pops their vault, and I'm sure ROLF is communicating that their fob is getting blown into. And just a reminder, like I said earlier, this is pretty much all ROLF has to their name at this point. You know, all their stuff is invested into this fob, so they came out pretty quickly and back on defense themselves so they can try to stop us from bombing in. Unfortunately for them, Heal did a lot of damage to their fob quickly. And he was able to get away this first time, and then once he gave it a few minutes and was like, all right, I'm heading back in, he grabbed more bombs. He got back on top of their fob and started bombing it again. At this point now, he's going to successfully get inside and blow up all their bedrolls and stuff. Now, when it comes to defending your base, of course, defending is important, but also you need to know when to go on offense when you're playing defense. So we had Heal able to be, you know, smart enough and slippery enough to get into their spot and pretty much blow up everything that they had. If it wasn't for this, then they would have kept going all night until the raid was over. They would have just kept attacking us. But because of this, we were able to wipe them out of their fob. And in the event where you had someone raiding you and they had, let's call it a normal fob setup, and you were trying to get through it, that's great, blow it up so it makes their makes it so when they're getting back to you it takes a lot longer. You normally want to have at least one person counter bomb. What we would do in this situation, after we finish blowing up their fob, we would have one of the 6 get kitted up into a bomber kit, grab some bombs in a vault or two maybe, and head straight over to their base and start counter bombing them. What that does is it makes the people that are attacking have to go back and defend their base. And normally they're going to send more than one person unless they want to be a little bit ballsy about it. A good example of this is if you watch my previous video, which is us being on offense when we were wiping a seer. They had their allied clan go and try to back bomb us, which for most people would cause the team that is attacking to freak out and be like, oh, we got to get back to our base, they're attacking us, and everyone will rush back to their base. Instead, we kept it cool and calm. We used our communications. I went back there solo and was able to kind of toy with the people 1v6 until they eventually left because they were in the middle of fighting ROLF themselves. So it was pretty much ROLF versus the team that was counter bombing us. The team that was counter bombing us, I believe, wiped ROLF, and ROLF kind of backed off for a little bit. So then they came to try to attack us while we attacked a seer. By the time I got back and toyed with them for that 10-15 minutes, ROLF was able to get back on their feet, get rebuilt, and they went out back to the people that were counter raiding us to attack them, which made them pull off. I feel like that might have been really confusing, but it made sense in my head. As always, thank you so much for watching if you made it to this point in the video. Any questions you have, please feel free to reach out. If you don't want to leave a comment, shoot me a DM. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Other than that, my next video will be coming out in a few days, which will include an in-depth bomber guide where I'll show how bombers will typically build their characters, set up their inventories, and then, like I mentioned, the god tips and Trebin arrowing, which is also very important aspects to raiding. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Peace.